Arsenal continue to look the real deal. They have won the North London derby 3-1. We can hear from two of the goal scorers now. Gabriel Jesus and the player of the match, Graniet Xhaka, are with Des Kelly.
Gabriel and Graniet. Gabriel, we spoke briefly before the game. You said you love derby games. We can see why now.
To be honest, it's the second time I score in the derby game. First was against Argentina, And then I'm very happy, not just, of course, I want to score every game, but the way the team played from the first minute, we show what we want in the game. So, we won the game. That's the most important thing.
And Graniet, that's a huge win, isn't it?
Absolutely. We didn't have a lot of weeks to prepare the game because of the national team break. But, we saw it yesterday in the training that we are ready. We knew exactly what we want. And how Gabi said, we did, from the first second, I think we was a better team. A little bit of, after the goal we conceded, was a little bit struggling. But this is part of football, and after second half, I think we was much better.
Yeah, you dominated from the start, but they go in at half-time level. Your goals in the second half, that changed things quickly.
We was like first half, we was playing better, I think, in my opinion, And then I think we deserve to win today because we want to play the game. We want to make passes, create the chances. How many chances we create today? Amazing, And the spirit of the team is amazing.
And Graniet, you've scored as well. Lovely moment for you. The red card finished things, but the third goal really put the seal on tonight.
Yeah, my first derby goal in England. More than happy to help the team, of course. The most important is the team, and after is our individually players, the class what we have, and so happy to help the team and to win.
Gabriel, you're loving this challenge here, aren't you? Loving the move to Arsenal.
I'm feeling home. Season day one because of them, because of the guys, the staff, the club. They make me feel home, and then that's help a lot. New players to joining the club, So I'm really happy here, and I think we are in the good way.
I've got one more job for you to do. We've got the Man of the Match award here.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, but it's for you. Apparently there was some argument before.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how, but congrats.
This was an issue last time.
Give it to me, after 7 years I get the first. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Xhaka getting the award, but Cesc, there could have been several players who could have easily picked that up today for Arsenal.
Oh, definitely. It was a fantastic, complete performance. I would like to just mention special name that nobody really spoke about because he was so good that I think he made it look so easy for him, but it's William Saliba. I'm sorry, but this boy was in France for the last 3 years on loan, and I was watching him very closely because an ex-Arsenal scout asked me 3 years ago when we were playing against Saint-Etienne in a cup game. I was rested that game, so I was in the stand, and he told me, have a look at this boy, I want to sign him. So he was 18, 19, he was best player on the pitch. And that shows you, the potential of this guy, and he makes it look so easy that potentially he could be, Arsenal's centre back for the next 15, 20 years.
And he's had to bide his time, Rio, hasn't he? What impresses you about him?
I think his composure. He's very strong. He's mobile, but it's then the composure in the pressure situations. Today, he was the most composed centre back on the pitch today, especially from Arsenal's perspective. I think in the first half, there were times when in the transition, Arsenal could have got hurt, and then how many times we see him come out with the ball, dance a little bit, and then play it to another red shirt. And I think he's got, at the top level, you need to be calm and composed in pressure situations. And at the moment, he's showing that beyond his years. And yeah, like you said, he had to be very, very patient. And going away and proving himself and coming back, that shows he's got character. So he'll have a good career going forward. But he's only been here a little bit of time, but he's already become a bit of a fan's favourite.
Yeah, he's looking really good. And Jesus was saying, Pisa, that he's feeling very at home here. He put Arsenal back in front in the second half. This is not one that Hugo Lloris is going to want to watch again, is it?
No, it's a big mistake. But right from minute one, since he signed Jesus, he's been a breath of fresh air, I think, As I said before the game, I think the levels with him and Zinchenko, I think their mentality has taken the levels up completely, and he looks like such a good player. And obviously here, I'm not quite sure what Lloris is doing. It's a gift in a North London derby, but Jesus got what he deserved.
I think, Conte, I'd love to be in the change room right now and listening to what Conte's got to say, because I think he'll be disgusted with the red card. Emerson Royale, but also the goalkeeping there from Lloris. In these games, it's little moments like that change them. And there was too many today that done that for Spurs for them to be on the losing end.
You know him, Cesc. What will his reaction have been, do you think, after that?
Right now, he will be so disappointed that he will not say anything, because he prefers to wait 24 hours. He will analyse the game tomorrow. He never normally speaks after a game, not for a victory, not for a defeat.
It wouldn't have been eventful then. I wouldn't have wanted to go in there then. Sorry.
Yeah. Just in case.
How hard is it for him to have put on the subs that he did? You know, losing a game in a North London derby, to take off Richarlison, take off Son, and basically damage limitation. You know, for that to be, you know, as a manager of his quality, you know, a winner, for him to have done that, it's
like accepting defeat already.
Accepted defeat must have been so hard to take.
Yeah, he hates losing. We know that. Let's hear from him now with Des.
Antonio, that's a bad day for Tottenham. What happened? How do you explain that?
Yeah, but I think the first half was imbalanced. I think that we had in the first half many chances and to go to score. We made a big mistake in the last pass because we had a really great space and really great chances to try to score and to stay ahead Arsenal. Yeah, in the second half we conceded early a second goal. Yeah, we could do much better in the situation, and then the red card with the red card ended the game, because then it was really difficult for us also when you have two strikers into the team. Perisic is a winger, and then you have changed totally the situation. We tried to play with for the back, but it was really difficult for us, for the characteristic of our players.
Did you think that was a red card, or do you think that was too much?
I don't want to comment the referee decision. I don't want.
Was there enough tempo? Was there enough pace in your team's performance today?
And when you lose and you have to justify, I think that we had the opportunity to exploit much better in the first half and to stay up, Arsenal. Instead, we kept the game in balance, and I repeat, I think we made big mistakes in the last pass, and also easy passes, and passes that you can score, you can go straight towards the goal, but it happened, and especially after the national team. It's a bit difficult because you don't have a lot of time to prepare the game. Many players arrive at the last time. With only one training, you have to try to make the best decision. But now we have to move on because lost against Arsenal. But we know that which is our role in this league. We have to try to do our best and to try to stay close with other teams to stay at the top.
You made a number of substitutions. Was that because you were unhappy with the side, or was it because you just wanted fresh legs? Or?
Yeah, fresh legs. Yes. Also because the game ended, and I tried also to give minutes to players that previously they didn't play for injuries problem, like Skippy and Matthew Doherty, and also to try to save energy because this is only the first game, and the game ended around 70 minutes. For this reason, I wanted to give them time and players that they needed to be available for the following games, and for this reason I prefer to give time also this player, especially Skip and Doherty. Because I repeat, we need of the whole squad, and because in front of us we have many games in a short period.
Thank you.
1-1 then at the Emirates in the North London derby. Plenty to get into, so let's start on the 20-minute mark. Thomas Partey, what a strike to give Arsenal the lead, but From a Tottenham point of view, you were far from happy in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, the performance as well. I mean, they were so passive. But look at the Tottenham players all getting behind the ball. Look how deep. It's really interesting to look at Son's position there. He's doubling up on Xhaka there. He gets too deep and they just circulate the ball. It goes central to Partey, and then the finish is absolutely magnificent, Berber. I mean, 10 behind the ball, though, and no pressure on it.
Yeah, I mean, as we spoke before, even if you have 10 behind the ball, when we face a good team with the great players, this can happen. If they continue the second half like this, I see more trouble for them. Look at that finish. You cannot catch that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You cannot leave freedom, especially up front, you know, your defense, you know. You have enough quality players to score goals, you know, from a long range. So it's impossible to let him do that, you know.
We talked before the game about Tottenham are going to suffer without possession. But there comes to a point when the opposition bring the ball up to you, you have to put some pressure on to try and win it back. Or you have to put yourself in some clever positions, almost cheap possessions. If we move on to the transition, when Tottenham actually win their penalty, Sonny's in a great position there because he always gives them something to think about. If you look at it here, you look at Son, whereas before he doubled up on it, he's in a position here, he's in that little sneak position. We call it a cheap position because if they lose it there, if the action's not perfect from Xhaka, they've got so many bodies forward, they're leaving Son in acres of space. As soon as he picks it up, he takes on the back foot and he counter-attacks. Good 1-2 with Harry Kane. He should be fouled there on the halfway line.
Of course.
He should be brought down. You think they missed the opportunity, he overhits the pass and they continue. Ramsdale gets himself in no man's land there. They cross the ball and there's another opportunity where they should be able to clear the ball, which is there. What row are you going to put that one in, man?
Kick the ball in the stand.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the stand and it's not a penalty. Gabriel tries to win it in the wrong side and it's a foolish decision to make and it's a clear penalty. And Harry Kane stands up and puts it calmly past his England teammate.
Yeah, just going back to what you say about Son, but he was there because he was late to come back and cover as a second defender or midfield. Yeah. And because he was late, he was able to get the ball, use the speed, 1-2, the quality they have, and get to that penalty. So maybe sometimes they need to be a bit more brave, Spurs.
It's not by design, Berber, that he's done that, is it? But by design, it should be clever. It's a clever position, so he can get back. He's just in contention enough to get back if he really needs to. But if they win the ball, he's in acres of space to counter, and that is where Tottenham are at their best, when Arsenal have possession. Because when Arsenal have possession, they're expansive in their movement and they're open. And when they win the ball, if they get too far back, it's easy for Arsenal. They just play around them. If they put themselves in positions just behind their midfield, they can break forward and counter-attack.
For me, there is two mistakes on the goal they scored, the Spurs, because in the middle of the park, it should have been a foul. If I was in midfield today, I would have made a foul. I would have sacrificed myself, get a yellow card, stop the action. That's it. And Xhaka as well. For me, don't try to put back the ball to Gabriel. It's too emotional in the first half. You could see that, you know. So kick the ball in the stand. That's it.
20 penalties from 21 for Harry Kane. What about this one down the middle?
Well, there was a sense that he's going to do that. We were watching it and we said that maybe he's going to do that. And I think it's because he was a bit nervous. You know, it took a long time to put the penalty away. But in the end, when you strike in the middle, sometimes you're not sure which angle to go, and you go for the sure one in the middle of the park. And it was actually a good penalty, to be honest. And in the end, it's a goal, 1-1. And now it starts again, the game, from the beginning.
It's his 14th goal in the North London derby. Very quick quiz question. Who was the last Spurs player to score against Arsenal in the North London derby when they were the league leaders? One, Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh,
there you go. It's not just thrown together, you know.